I already know what you're thinking, and I get it. There's no way Matt is going to break down the Creamery or say anything bad about it. I get it. I told my wife I was researching the Creamery, and that's immediately what she said. What most people, including people watching this video, say about the Creamery. It's a good project. It's affordable housing, and there's childcare in it, right? I get it. I get why the Edison neighborhood supports it. I get it. But we're going to break down the Creamery. I wanted to break down a project that most people think is pretty good. Because the only perspective that I'm coming from, I don't have personal relationships with these people for any of this stuff. I literally only care about telling the truth and providing facts. I literally only care about coming from an anti-racist perspective that actually wants racial disparities to end, whether that's homelessness, affordable housing, homeownership, or wealth. That's it. So we are going to break down the Creamery. Creamery, 48 apartments total. 15 are affordable. Out of the 48 apartments, 15 are affordable to poor people. Okay, 15. That's almost a third. I'm just telling you, 15 are affordable. What does that mean? They call it 30% AMI or less. 15 of the apartments are for poor people. So the rent for a one bedroom of these 15, a one bedroom is $444. Affordable, right? A two bedroom would be $533. So that applies to 15 of the apartments. Notice I didn't call them units as people in the industry do. It's because people don't want to live in a unit. They want to live in a home, a house or an apartment where they can afford, right? They don't live in units. So anyway, 15 of the 48 are affordable. The rest are not. Let me just repeat that. The other 33, sorry, I'm looking at my notes. The other 33 are not affordable. The word affordable is being used. Mostly the word workforce affordable is being used. So the other 33 are targeting what they call 70% area and median income people to 120% area median income people. What area? What area? The Edison neighborhood? That would make sense. Nope. Well, it must be the city then. Nope. It's the metropolitan statistical area, blah, blah, blah. It includes our friends in Portage. But what really matters, you just want to know what the rent is. So for these other 33 apartments, the lowest price for a one bedroom would be over $1,000. The lowest price, this is according to Mishta, puts out basically a graph of affordable housing, what rent has to be. The lowest for a two bedroom at 70% AMI, $1,250. Now the highest, 120% AMI people that either live here or are coming here from somewhere else. A one bedroom is going to be $1,777. A two bedroom is going to be $2,133. Ah! Okay. I'm just telling you what the rent is. I'm not necessarily saying every single apartment should be for very poor people either, although there's a way to do that. That's a whole different thing. Anyway, now you got the breakdown of what the actual rent is. That is the most important thing whenever you hear about these projects. Who's doing it? Because that matters. Matt Hollander is the developer. Hollander Development. It's an all-white institution. I'm sure he's a great person. Bison Association and Associates is the architect. They're also all white. You know what else they build? Jails. Okay. Frederick Construction out of Vicksburg. They're all white too. Okay. The land bank is who they got the property from for $62,000. They're an all-white institution. They have been for 10 years. They've had a total of 2 black people on the board in 10 years. And then finally, KMG Management. That's who's going to manage the place. And they have 2 black people on staff. Congrats. But you have to realize, when you're looking at racial equity, you have to look at every single aspect of the project, right? Okay. And another thing about the WHO, and this isn't, I'm not picking on Matt, right? You have to be a millionaire to be in the affordable housing game. Literally, I'm not just saying that. You have to have $1 million in the bank if you want to be an affordable housing developer. So yeah, white people are affordable housing developers in black spaces. Anyway, how did this happen? A whole bunch of different confusing financing things, a whole bunch of money flying from different pots everywhere. Low-income housing tax credits. That's kind of the way that these projects are built. I'm not going to go into the details because I honestly don't know how much tax credits they got. I couldn't find it. I spent like hours trying to research it. But typically, that's how something like this would be funded. It's like at the end of the year when you do your taxes, and so you're a developer doing your tax at the end of the year, you get free money in the form of a tax credit. Typically, that's how that works. Usually it's in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, but I don't know. I couldn't find it. Anyway, payment in lieu of taxes. So basically they're saving $60,000 a year because the city of Kalamazoo said you don't have to pay those taxes. You're going to get a heavy discount. So that's how they fund a project like this. Michigan Strategic Fund gave them $2.3 million. Brownfield, of course. Brownfield, like I could talk about these things from a different perspective, right? But I'm just saying what's relevant. Brownfield is a way for wealthy white people to develop black spaces, okay? Either places where black people used to live or places where black people currently live. That's what brownfield is anyway. $280,000 from brownfield. And then, Stryker Johnston invested $2.3 million in a super complicated way that I'm not going to explain. It has to do with buying up like housing bonds at a low interest rate. It's making the mortgage a lot better for Matt, for the Hollander. So that's some of the money that's get thrown around. It's a $15 million housing project total. And that's it. I mean, another weird thing about these projects is those 15 affordable units that are actually for poor people. I don't know the deal on this particular one, but typically in like 15 years, maybe 20 years, those apartments can flip, right? They only promise to make them affordable for so many years. Now this might be a 30-year deal or whatever, but that's just something to know about these projects as well. Just to put this in perspective, and I'm not like, yeah, I am. I'm trashing it. I mean, to put this in perspective, if we wanted to take care of the people in Kalamazoo that are paying over 50% of their rent today, before COVID, if we wanted to just take care of the people who are extremely rent burdened in Kalamazoo, disproportionately harming black people, we would need to build over 266 creameries just to take care of extremely rent burdened people before COVID. Do you get that? So what I'm saying is the whole freaking system was never meant to solve this issue, was never meant to help black people, is completely controlled by white people. You get that? So we need over 4,000 apartments for poor people who are extremely rent burdened. You get it. Okay, thanks for listening. The Creamery broke down.